It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is brand new stuff from the Dead Daisies from the Live and Louder release. That is a cover of the Who track, Join Together. And here to join together once again with the Classic Metal Show, it is the vocalist, John Corabi. John, how are you, man?
I'm all right. How are you?
Excellent, man. Well, John, gotta say, I'll start here, man. I saw you play 2 weeks ago here in Cleveland. Amazing show, man. You sounded great. You were loose, and not that you're ever a stress guy, but you were very loose. It just seemed like you were having fun doing this that show, and I'm assuming the rest of this tour. So, it's just good to see.
It's really funny. I started doing these acoustic things, probably 2011 or 12. Cinderella asked me to come out with them, and that's it was weird. Like when I first started, I was like, I'm going, oh God, I've got all these records. I got to do like one or two songs from each record. And, so it was like, thinking like I had to give people their money's worth. It was, 20 plus songs.
Right.
And then it was funny. I would go sit down and, I do keep it loose. I would go sit at the bar and like, if anybody wanted me to sign anything or hang out and talk or whatever. And most of the time that I would sit there, I was talking about why I wrote this song or why I played that song. And I just kind of made me rethink everything. I go, well, you know what? Maybe it's not about doing 25 songs. Maybe it's about doing 13 or 15 and just kind of kidding around and joking and being relaxed and then explaining why I do some of the songs I do or why I wrote some of the songs that I wrote. And ever since I did that, it's been awesome. So there's never a set list. And then a lot of times too, I'll just say, what do you guys want to hear? And if I know it, I'll play it. You know what I mean? It's like whatever. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
It definitely is fun, man. It's something that, I know you're wrapping them up now, but it's something people should look for, once you're done with the next round of Dead Daisies stuff, because it is a fun experience and it's a unique experience, for songs, especially where you're doing some of the Union stuff and the Motley stuff, and even with the Scream too, it's stuff that you're not going to hear otherwise. So it's it's
right.
Just a good vibe to catch those shows.
Yeah, it's been cool, man. It's definitely a lot of fun. I get to, again, I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now, and I've met a lot of new friends, and it is like you said, it's loose, it's fun. I tell jokes, kid around with the audience. If someone's in the, whatever, it's a very good time. So
sure.
I plan on doing more of them in the future.
Very cool, man. But probably not in the immediate future, as it seems you're very busy being the frontman of the Dead Daisies, man. Got this new live release that is getting ready to come out, and excellent in a different way. Very energetic. Has a lot of covers on it, but it's fun. Again, fun and much more rockin' and much more what people may know you for.
Well, it's funny, like, again, it's that band, who knew that this late in my career I would have like this sudden resurgence of, notoriety or popularity or whatever. And it's been awesome. I mean, the band is great. The players are great. And we've all known each other for years. I've known Doug since he was 16 or 17 years old. Known Marco and Brian for 20 plus years. So we just go out, we have a good time, and we're all classic rock fans. So even with the covers, a lot of the covers they're songs that we recorded. We always do, even from the beginning before I was in the band. The Dead Daisies have always done all of their songs and 2 covers on the record. We kind of remake them. And it's just kind of our tip of the hat to the stuff that we grew up listening to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we included a bunch of them in the set over the course of I think we recorded 4 or 5 shows. So each show we would kind of change it up and go, okay, last night we did this, and this, but let's do these 2 as well, or let's do this, these songs from like, you know, our own material. Let's add these. So we, you know, kind of, you know, basically what I'm saying is the live album it was awesome. It was recorded on the last tour, but there's a couple of different shows in there. So it's not exactly the set list.
Okay.
It's like what we did, you know, and then some other songs. Like if we did Song and a Prayer one night, you know, the next night we might do Midnight Moses, just to make sure that it was on the live album as well. Okay. You know, but it's pretty cool, man. It's awesome.
It definitely is.
Sounds great, I think.
Oh, it does. It sounds excellent. Well, John, what was it about the Dead Daisies that, you know, got you, I guess, willing to go back to A, being a frontman, and B, being a frontman of a band? I mean, it was a while, you know, between Union and now Dead Daisies, where, I mean, you did some solo stuff and you did some appearances here and there, but you really sort of dropped out, you know, as far as...
Well, you know, it's weird. Like, you know, I've had a band. I still have a solo band as well. Like, so I did acoustic shows. And where did you say you saw us in?
Cleveland.
Okay, so the guy that was with me, my son was with me.
Sure.
He's the drummer in my solo band.
Right.
So, you know, we've been going out and doing shows as well. But for some reason, it's just, you know, we would do well. We would play and we'd have decent turnouts at the thing. But it's just something that a lot of people weren't really talking about. You know what I mean? I was like, whatever, it's fine. You know, it's just a little bit more of a slow burn. You know, so I have been doing stuff. It's just, you know, I wasn't, I just wasn't out making front page news. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, now the Dead Daisies is kind of, well, like I said, it's a great band. They have an incredible management company and staff around them. So they're constantly on the internet and social media. They've figured it out. It's in this day and age, it's not about, you know, MTV and radio and da-da-da-da. It's about interacting directly with the fans through social media, and they have it mastered.
Sure.
And because of that, I'm finding that my acoustic shows, more people are coming to the acoustic shows. More people are coming to my band shows. Mm-hmm. So it's been pretty cool. Like one hand is washing the other. It's awesome.
Sure, and it probably is a very good fit for you because, I mean, as long as I've been seeing you perform, all the way back to seeing you in the Omni or the Stone or somewhere out in San Francisco, you know, with the Scream, all the way through till, you know, the most recent thing 2 weeks ago, you've always been that guy that's always willing to just, you know, hang out after, have a drink, and shake hands and actually talk to people instead of, okay, everybody line up, take your picture, and move the fuck out. You know what I mean?
And it's weird. Our guitar player, David, who pretty much put the Dead Daisies together, is the same guy.
Okay.
You know, he's not taking a piss out of anybody. He's not, you know, whatever. But he just said, I want to do meet and greets every fucking night.
Right.
And he goes, we're not ever going to charge for it.
Which is beyond cool.
So... yeah, he's like, we're going to go, like, even when we were out with Kiss and Whitesnake and all that stuff, you know, we made arrangements and we said, hey, the minute we're done playing, we're going to run up to the merch thing, we're going to sit there and we're going to sign. And, you know, the normal thing to do, like protocol or whatever you want to call it, we go up immediately and we sit there. We're still, like, literally dripping, soaking wet. We'll literally go up there, sign some stuff, take some photos. The minute whoever we're opening for, the minute their intro tape starts, we're done.
Okay.
And we go back because it's, you know, it's kind of disrespectful to that band if you've got 300 of their fans or 500 of their fans standing in line waiting to meet the Dead Daisies. You know what I mean? So we're like, we're going to do this. This is why we try to rush everybody through most of the time. We're like, hey, we got to go. Come on, just have your camera ready, blah, blah, blah. We've only got 20 minutes, but we do it. Mm-hmm. We do it. We don't charge for it, and we just want to get out there. And I've always been like, you know, like, it's funny to me. Like, a lot of people go, hey, do you need security? I'm like, for what?
Right.
I'm going to go sit at the bar and I'm going to hang out, take a couple photos and sign some shit. And most of the time, these fucking crazies are going to buy me a drink.
Right.
So why would I want security to keep them away? Like, let them, it's fine, man. It's cool. If it gets crazy, now there are some places I've been to like Mexico City with Motley and places like Buenos Aires where it's like, you know, not a lot of bands get down there
right.
or go there. So it was absolute insanity when we went, but there we needed security, but I don't, you know, it's just like, it's very low key. Let's just go hang, have a cocktail, call it a day.
Sure.
Boom, done.
Dude, I'll tell you a real quick story that you probably don't remember, but I remember it like it was yesterday. This is all the way back. You guys, when you were doing Union, you were playing a show at Ron's Crossroads in Akron, Ohio. And
yes.
And you, we had a meet and greet scheduled. I don't remember if Bruce was sick or what the deal was with Bruce, but he just didn't want to do the meet and greet. And a lot of people were upset about it. You know, a lot of the people that came out early were like, oh, man, you know, they wanted, you know, they came with 15 Kiss things and Motley things and whatever. And you literally came out and stood next to the door out front and signed every single thing that everybody brought to have signed. And the one thing that stuck out most in my mind was there was a guy that showed up literally with a box of Motley stuff and Scream stuff. And I mean 30 pieces of things, and you just stood there and signed every single one of them. I was like, Jesus.
Well, they were laughing when I was just in Illinois, and I did two shows, one at a place called Top Fuel Saloon.
Okay.
Which is in Braidwood, Illinois, and then I was at Rascals Live in Moline.
Okay.
And this guy came to the first place in Braidwood, and he kind of was just hovering around in the back, and you know, I saw he was doing some signings, and then he came up to me at the end of the night, and he goes, "Listen, I'm just warning you now." He goes, "I have like every fucking thing that you've ever done,
okay.
ever, like," and he goes, "I'm a collector." He goes, "I don't sell anything." He goes, "But could you sign some stuff for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man. No worries." I'm like, you know, let's go stand at the bar. So this guy literally had a bag with him. And, dude, he had stuff that I have never even seen before with me on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was like, he was, you know, it was like, I think he said he had like 770 pieces of stuff, but I did half the one day, and he goes, "I'll be in Moline." I go, "Okay, well, how about this? Let's do half today, and then we'll do the other half in Moline." And he was easy. He just kind of waited again till the very end, and then we bellied up to the bar. He's like, "Let me at least buy you a cocktail." So he bought me a cocktail, and I just sat there and I did the rest of his stuff for him. You know, it's like no big deal, you know.
Sure.
These are the fans. These are the guys, you know, like I know it can be a little crazy, whatever, but it's like these are the fucking people that are like not to put it into a dollars and cents thing,
mm-hmm.
but these are the people that are fucking paying for my electric bill. These are paying for my house payment. These are, you know, helping me buy, you know, my kid a, you know, new drum set or my new shoe, whatever.
Right.
They're the reason why I'm still doing what I'm doing 35 years later.
Right. They've kept you out of the cubicle.
Yes. So why would I not just stay that extra half hour, talk with as many of them as I can.
Sure.
Have a cocktail, mingle, and then get into my van and leave. It's you know, or whatever.
Right.
My tour bus or my whatever. You know what I mean? It's no big deal. So I don't know. That's just how I think. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, but David and I, we kind of feel the same. Like if we don't need to like charge the people that are buying our records
Right.
and keeping us in business, we don't need to charge them to go and say hello.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we don't. We're like, the Dead Daisies don't do it. I don't do it.
Right.
And hopefully, never will.
Right.
Now there are some club owners. I have done some clubs. I just did one in Atlanta, and they did a free show, and they were trying to make up some of their whatever. So he called me up, and he goes, "Hey, would you mind doing a meet and greet?" And he goes, I have like 25 people. I don't know what he charged.
Right.
But he's like, and I kind of understood. They did a free concert for everybody. They asked me to come down and play. They did a free concert, and I guess it was their way of making some of their money back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, no worries, no big deal.
No, sure.
So, but I'm rambling now, so I'm going to shut up.
It's all good, man. Well, dude, let me just ask you one quick one about the Dead Daisies here, and then we'll wrap it up because I know you're on a tight schedule. Has the Dead Daisies, or is the Dead Daisies accomplishing enough for you to kind of take where everybody's still talking about Motley Crue off the table somewhat? It's been a long time since Motley Crue, but yet I'm sure half the questions you're answering in interviews are Motley Crue questions.
I gotta be honest with you. They still ask.
Okay.
That's never going to change. I laugh and kid around. I said, I'm the asterisk. I'm going to always be the asterisk in Motley's or Nikki Sixx or whoever. I'm always going to be the asterisk in their career.
Right.
So it is what it is. I've accepted it. It's good. Some people ask, a lot of people are asking about Mick, what Mick and I are doing. And
right.
It doesn't change. It's never going to change. And I've kind of, okay, that's it. That's how it's going to be. So
right.
It's all good.
Absolutely. Well, and it certainly can't help that half the audience out there claims over and over, myself included, best record that ever had Motley Crue written on the cover of it. So, I'm sure that doesn't suck.
Well, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And honestly, I appreciate what Motley did for me.
Sure.
Maybe I was a Band-Aid on something for them for a couple of years, so I hope they appreciate what I did for them. And, but I've kind of moved on, man. I moved on the day after they told me that they were bringing Vince back. I was like, all right, I obviously need to move on and figure out what I'm going to do with my life.
Sure. And it has been 20 whatever years at this point.
Yeah. And so, what my world, my life, and everything is pretty rocking right now. Like, I've got the Daisies. I've got a solo career.
Right.
I have honestly, I have 2 live records coming out this year. One with the Daisies, one with my solo band later in the year. Daisies and us are getting ready to go back into the studio at the end of this year and start recording again.
Cool.
There'll be a new album next year. And I got to do the same thing with my solo band. Contractually, I have another solo record to do. And so life is good, man. I have a beautiful wife. I have 2 great kids. My daughter's got kids. So, life is groovy, man. It's awesome.
Excellent.
So I don't dwell on things. I don't look back. It's like move forward, keep trudging,
sure.
And, enjoy life.
Absolutely, man. Well, dude, why don't we let the fans enjoy a little piece of this brand new Dead Daisies release, Live and Louder. When is it out? Do you know the date?
I believe it's May 19th.
Okay. So about a month from now, but we'll give them a taste a little early. What would you like us to play from the release to wrap this one up?
Wait, so you just did Join Together?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do you know what? Let's go old school. Let's give them Midnight Moses.
All right. Well, let's. Why that one? You just like playing it, or
what now?
I said, why that one? Do you just like playing that one, or?
You know what? That one for some reason was the first song that we came out with me as the singer.
Okay.
And for some apparent reason, it's one that just, I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, people wait for it. Even still now, like, even doing my acoustic show, people are like, Midnight Moses, Midnight Moses. And I've done it a couple times. I've kind of pulled it out and played it acoustically. And, but it's funny, whatever. So, you know what? Actually, why don't you pick and play whatever you want?
How about this? How about if I play Midnight Moses, but I also play Song and a Prayer? How's that? We'll give him a double taste.
Fair enough to me.
We'll give him a double taste.
That's what we call in the business, kids, a compromise.
There we go. Well, let's check it out right now. This is brand new stuff from the Dead Daisies right here on your Classic Metal Show.